Hello there, and welcome back to another installment of SCP Readings with your reader here, Gmodon. Today we're looking at SCP-666. There's a link down in the description for you to follow along as I read out loud. SCP-666 is a medium-sized Tibetan yurt made of tied wooden branches and covered in yak leather. The interior ceiling is 2.44 meters or 8 feet high, and the base of the yurt is 9.14 meters or 30 feet wide. The hut is circular in shape. The interior of the yurt appears to be as crude as the outside to the majority of observers, with a dirt floor. The branches that make up the yurt frame are wrapped in rabbit fur and tied with yak leather thongs. Periodically, SCP-666 will change its location within the confinement area. This will only happen when not under direct observation, but remote viewing gives the impression of an entity inside the structure, lifting it wholly and moving it to its new position. To date, it has not made any attempt to escape confinement. SCP-666 was discovered in 1973 by SCP operatives searching the mountain regions on reports of several missing persons having returned from the area, giving similar explanations. Seeking shelter during harsh weather, the individuals would happen upon SCP-666 by seeming happenstance. Having gone out in similar conditions, the exploration team also were able to discover the yurt. Of the 3 operatives present, 2 experienced no ill effects. The third entered a stupor, experiencing vivid hallucinations and muttering incoherently to himself. Upon retrieval of the team, the yurt was recovered and taken to nearby Site 73 for further investigation. When an individual with no history of significant addictions enters the yurt remains dormant and seems to have no ill effects. Class D personnel without a history of alcohol or narcotics abuse were able to sit inside the yurt for days at a time if provided proper nourishment, but did report a greater intensity in their dreams. Individuals who have a history of substance abuse, however, will experience a hallucinogenic effect when inside the structure. In all instances, the subjects report being in a location either from their memories or a corollary thereof, specifically a spot where their addiction was at its most intense. Thus far, there have been reports of a nightclub bathroom, a 1973 Volkswagen Vanagon, a filthy alleyway, the redacted casino in Las Vegas, etc. One subject reported finding himself in a dirty apartment with a prostitute named Chloe, with whom he frequently indulged in narcotics abuse. Another reported being in his bathroom with a computer setup significantly more intricate than he owned before his arrest for distribution of child pornography. During these hallucinations, subjects report that they are confronted by an individual, referred to as SCP-666-1. Descriptions of SCP-666-1 vary wildly from person to person, with no commonality to race, gender, or appearance beyond being typical for the surroundings. SCP-666-1 will indulge the subject in their personal addictions, although at the start they will have a passive-aggressive attitude. As time progresses, the subject is encouraged to indulge further, while simultaneously being encouraged to stop. Should the subject show remorse or a strong desire to give up their addiction, SCP-666-1 will slowly adopt a more genuinely friendly tone and continue with the temptation with discouragement hallucinations. Approximately 94% of subjects who have gone through this form of hallucination to their end have been diagnosed as near complete removal of psychological addictions, though physical symptoms will persist through a natural withdrawal cycle. If the subject gives in to SCP-666-1's temptations, the entity becomes increasingly hostile. There is no set timetable nor degree of indulgence, but if left unchecked, SCP-666-1 will invariably begin assaulting the subject and forcing their vice upon them to levels of extreme overdose. If the subject is not forcibly removed from SCP-666 during this period, they will die. Cause of death is typical of their addiction, where an alcoholic will suffer extreme kidney or liver failure. A cocaine user will develop cardiac dysrhythmia. A subject addicted to video games or television will suffer extreme muscle atrophy and health issues associated with sedentary lifestyle, etc. To date, there has been no clear connection between who will and will not succumb to SCP-666-1. The working hypothesis is that it is simply a matter of the individual's willpower and conviction. All attempts to directly interview SCP-666-1 have failed, with the entity either redirecting the conversation or bluntly refusing to answer. The only statement that reveals anything to its nature was a single instance of, "We're not important here, this is all about you." This indicates that there are either multiple entities attached to SCP-666, or there are additional instances of SCP-666 in the world. Investigation is ongoing, and whenever similar stories arise, should another instance of SCP-666 be discovered, it is to be transferred immediately to Site-73. Addendum SCP-666-1. Nearly identical stories have recently arisen in remote areas of northern Canada describing a Wendigo hut. While unconfirmed, their similarities point to at least one additional instance of SCP-666 at large. So just to say, there is one last addendum in there that you can check out yourself. It's a conversation between one of the workers for SCP and one of the subjects that went into this hut. I actually find the idea of this SCP very, very interesting because it's basically something that will either help you or kill you. In a way, it's trying to help you by tempting you with these addictions that you have. Like, say for me, take for instance, I am heavily addicted to technology, the internet, who isn't these days, and video games. And I have a feeling if I went into that hut, I would get tempted with, you can have these video games if you want, or you can come and do other things. And I just think it's really kind of a very cool way to show how people really do go through rehabilitation with their addictions, that it's a world of temptation versus a world of recovery. And it seems like as much as these things want to help whatever these entities are, it depends upon the person. It's not inherently evil. Like, death is not inherently evil. It just is. This SCP has been requested a lot, and I feel as though it was requested mainly because of the 666 number and not because of its contents. But you know, if you requested because of its contents, bravo, because this was a pretty cool SCP. So that has been SCP-666. Thank you for joining me on this reading. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.